Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood. And today is Katie's birthday. Happy birthday, Katie.
Thanks. 30 again.
You
It's
know, we
so
argued about Katie's age because she's like, I'm entering my mid 30s and she hasn't even hit 35 yet. So that's not mid 30s.
but like it's the middle of your 30s.
It makes
Like I'm in the middle section. I'm no longer like, can I still say early 30s? I'm not early 30s anymore.
totally be saying early 30s if I were you until next year. Then your mid 30s,
Me and one of my
you're
friends,
39. And
we
then
were
it's your late 30s.
then I can say it. So we're talking about it over the weekend with one of our friends, and he's the only other one that's 34 with me.
For bed.
We're the two oldest of like everyone we know. So we're just the old folks in our group. Yeah. Little midweek birthday. You're literally mad that I'm not like doing something super special for my birthday, but we're doing what we want,
And that's
what
what's
I like,
important, what you like to do, you know?
what I want to do. I didn't go to the office. I wanted to work at home. I'm gonna go get lunch. I'm gonna have an afternoon Diet Coke. Like it's gonna be great.
It's going to be everything you dreamed of and more. I'm so glad. So glad for you because mean, you got to celebrate somehow. And I think that one of the things I'm doing tonight, if we transition into our topic today, is I have to get Colton at 4:30 to take him to School of Rock. Just another activity that begins before the workday ends that somebody has to gather children to.
Yeah, I feel like the first time I booked like a program for Jack, like soccer, I was like, why does it start at 4:15? I don't understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And guys, this is what we're going to talk about today. Like kids' activities as working moms. We're going to talk about all the things, but the first part is this 4 p.m., sometimes 3:30 p.m. for like Calvin's age problem, where all the kids'
Yes.
activities are during the workday. So Daisy has dance at 10:30 on Wednesdays. My mom has to take her every week. What if I didn't have her to do that?
Most of it does, or you feel bad because you're leaving to go do
Yes,
that
either way.
in the middle. Like, and so it's like, how do you, get around it? But like at this point, it's so hard. Like there's so many things that you could do with them, first of all. But when they're really little, so like, I don't know by you, like what the first thing is. Like here, the first thing is like soccer.
Us too. It's soccer shots.
I guess that's not true. Like outside of like going to like the activities at the library and
Yeah,
like,
like, lunch, the free reading things and stuff like that.
yeah,
The first
do those
sport
count? I don't know.
is always
Sport.
soccer and then T-ball very
Yes.
closely thereafter, soccer T-ball.
Yeah. So T-ball here starts at like just over 4. And didn't really, well, you get like a different version of this. For us last summer, like all the kids going into pre-K could do T-ball, but Jack was not 4 yet. So he wasn't eligible last year. So this is going to be his first year. And most of the kids in his like grade level of that have already all played a year. So Jack doesn't even qualify for the first level. He's actually already in the 6U T-ball because of where his birthday falls. He can't go and do the other one now because then he'll be playing with all the kids younger than
Yeah, they
him
let Colton
because
on
we sent
big
him to
big mistake, we'll talk about that later, it was not correct.
right. Right. Like
Yeah,
at
like,
what what point do you
it
want to
was
put
not
them in
great.
stuff? But like the soccer's really cute little. Like
Yeah.
if we could
Well, for
if
Colton, it
we could
started at
encourage
3:30 on Wednesdays. I work till 5, 6, Jordan works till 5, 6. Who
how are you
how is
yeah,
this happening?
who's doing it? And then it's like, I get that there's other programs for homeschool kids in that, because like I see like the place by us has like homeschool programs throughout the day, which is great. But it's like our kids are at school during the day or, whichever it is. So it's hard to make any of the additional times. But yeah, it doesn't make sense logistically. But then I understand from like the programming aspect of the other stuff, because all the older kids sports is later at night because they are at school till later. And then
Yep.
there's school sports. And then there's additional activities. It's really hard. And then,
In your
you know,
house, you guys split it though, right? Like, or you go together. Like, that's one of the things. Who in your house is more in charge of the extracurricular activities?
I guess it's hard because I plan everything. But this summer, what we've been doing through the winter is we only did soccer through the winter because obviously we don't have anywhere else to go. I booked the kids back to back because they're not in the same program. Next year they can be in the same program, which is scary, but they go back to back. So Calvin's like the first hour, Jack's the second hour. So we just have one night that we're there for 2 hours and that's it. going into the summer, Calvin will keep doing the indoor soccer because that's all he's eligible for.
Yeah.
And then Jack will do he's doing outdoor soccer 2 nights a week and then T-ball 2 nights a week.
4 nights.
I didn't realize.
He's under 6, Katie. Are you
Yeah.
prepared for
And so
this? What is wrong with you?
I am prepared for this. Well, so I signed him. I didn't know, to be fair, I didn't know that it was 2 nights a week for both things. Like, I didn't realize there was a practice day and a game day. So,
We could
like,
talk about this in, like, 3 months and see how
didn't
you
know.
feel.
No, I mean, me and Ryan were talking about it because before I signed him up for the soccer, I was like, do we really want to do it? And I'm like, what else are we going to do all summer?
Yeah, I mean,
Am I going
hey,
to
that's
just sit at my house?
and,
Like,
like, that is a good point. It's only nicer for a little while. Ryan doesn't his schedule allows for him to take some of that, like, he is more flexible during the summer, and he gets out earlier from school, so that does help. I will
yes.
say, like, that's the big thing for me, and the thing that has saved me in the last truly, like, the month and a half, so and I know she's listening, so Tracy has saved my life because we've started carpooling. So we're signing our kids up
Oh, the
for
best.
the same sports, and both of us travel for work, work crazy schedules, and both of our husbands work. So between the 2 of us, well, the 4 of us, it's been like, "Hey, why don't you pick up or from school and take them to the activity? I'll pick them up from the activity. They can come back to my house for dinner." It is, but then we had to go through the whole thing of like, "Hey, at school, we know that you guys are helping each other out if we need you on the list." So now all of my lists now have her and her husband on the list because
You have to.
I have to. But that is the way, like, in my opinion, you get through it. And now I'm looking at different cars because I'm thinking to myself, I need
What if
Colton
you had to
Peter,
throw an
Colton
extra
in car
kid?
seats. So then if I have to pick up another child or two, I need a bigger car. So now we're in that phase of life of like, if we're
You're getting a minivan.
this,
You're getting a
I
minivan.
want a minivan.
I think you should both get matching minivans.
Katie, I don't think we should, but not that far off because it's more about like practicality at this moment. But I was in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and let me tell you, it like was pretty good.
No, I love no, I love Jeeps,
So
but I'm also like a Honda Odyssey.
I know you love a Honda Odyssey. So like, get it. It'll be worth it when you have 4 nights of sports that you no longer can
And
go pick your kids up from.
I've been on the side of TikTok and Instagram right now of that people that have minivans and have sports every night, they're hooking their crock pots up in the trunk
Oh,
of their car and they're doing tacos out of the back of the car, like at the end of the stuff. But I think the excitement right now is because Jack was really like struggling with sports at the beginning here. And he's so young that like people are probably like, this girl's crazy for even talking about this. But like Jack was just like, we went through the phase of like parents are out there with them every single time to no parents, and he didn't like that transition. It took us a couple sessions, but now he's great. He goes at like awesome.
that's awesome because I know, like, how
Huge
much you were
progress.
struggling, and for Colton, we started him very Colton's ginormous, so we started him in sports super earlier than most, I think, because they were letting him go even a little bit before his birthday because he was so big, and I just remember the kid has 0 interest, like, absolutely 0 interest whatsoever. The soccer field, he's, like, dancing, football, running the wrong direction. Then we did T-ball when he was 3 going into 4, and it was during his nap time. I don't know what we were thinking, and he would just
Yes.
cry. He was
Yeah.
way too young, and I'm like, "Oh my god," and that kinda gets us into the point of, like, what do you do? Like, obviously, you if you sign up for a season, we've both said this before, we push them through the season, but what do you do when your kid hates everything you signed them up for? I'm asking Colton, "What
I
sport?"
know. Well, and you're at a unique phase where he can start communicating to you like what he likes and doesn't like and that like I feel Jack is still a little young, like I want him to try things. And you've tried, you've put Colton in.
Yeah.
It's not like he hasn't played them. So he understands like what he likes and he's starting to get to that point. Whereas I'm like, Jack still needs to try with some of it. And I definitely know that we're gonna overdo it and be crazy, but I do want him to try everything and like sports with this is like the whole concept of what we're talking about, right? Like sports for both of us was a huge part of our
Yeah, I'm
lives.
dying right now because he doesn't wanna do it's literally killing me. I lived on a baseball field.
Yes. Like to be like and you think of all these things where I'm like already like this summer I volunteered to be like the team manager because I'm envisioning like I'm gonna like, you know, snack every week and all of those things, and you get so excited about those, he could absolutely hate it, and I could start dreading
Oh, I
going
do
every week.
think that there is something to be said, like, when your parents are really into it, like, depending and if you played a lot at home, I think that that does lend itself, like, you see these kids that, like, are all into it, it's like my but it is difficult because you do the art of comparison, we've talked about this before, and some of my friends, like or my siblings, their kids are incredible, like, they pick up sports so easily, it's, like, so second nature. And then you're like and, like, I don't wanna get upset about it because every kid is unique and has their own thing, and my uncle gave me great advice. He's like, "Danielle, lean into whatever it is they love and find a way to love it so that you can, like, grow it with them," but, like, trying to find that thing that they love. Daisy's so much easier, and this is another thing with 2 kids, and I feel bad because I felt this as a kid. Daisy loves dance. Now she's asking to do it every day, and she wants to cheer, and obviously, the reason I cheered was because I love sports and I sucked. So, like, if I could dance and I could cheer, I could be at a football game and I'd be watching football practice or basketball practice. I was in sports all day, every day, like my entire life. So it gave me that. But then what? Do I just give Daisy all the attention because she wants to do sports and let no, I can't do that. So now I'm like trying to find
Yeah.
stuff for him.
And that makes it hard too, because just as they get older and that the other thing that's gonna be hard is I remember, I mean, with 3 kids, it's obviously much different.
I
If
don't
you're
know
going
how
in
our parents did it. I
3
don't
different directions, and so I at the beginning, I was on Steph's team a lot, like,
yeah,
I had to play up, and luckily it
it
was
worked
like a
out for
Colton
you.
situation. I was big
I
enough
mean,
and I
Coulter
could
was up at Fredonia for like 8 years after he graduated. So
so I was able to, like, play up, but then, like, Michelle never played on my you know what I mean? Like, she never played on my team, like and then it was very separate for a while, and Steph, didn't do the travel and that, and then she was in high school, like, the friends came into play, she was doing that type of thing, and then when she went to college, especially, like, my dad went with me, my mom went with Michelle, and Steph was at college or,
separate, yeah,
you
it's
know
separate sports.
it was all separate or, like, by the time she could drive, it was like, "Thank God she can go do her"
Well, yeah, that's when my parents got me a car at 16. They said, "If you
it was in
get a
their
job
benefit.
and have a 4.0 job, you could have your own car." But my mom admits now, she's like, "Danielle, I needed you to drive. You were in 8,000
Had to.
activities. Your at one school, your brother was in 8,000 activities in another school, and then I had David on accident, who was 10 years younger than you, and I couldn't."
And you're like, "I don't know what to do." But that's where it's like, so you and Colton and Daisy will for sure be in different stuff.
Oh,
So you will be separated when
yeah.
as you get to those things. I'm hoping, like, Calvin's gonna be like Colton or like myself, and he'll be able to play up. Like, he's gonna be eligible. I mean, we're gonna hit a 3, 4-month span here where they're 3 and 4.
You're gonna have
So,
the
like
best like, there were these brothers that played I was a hockey groupie back in the day, and there were
Sure.
these brothers no, like, that was our thing, and they were the Nucci brothers. If anybody that knows the Nuccis is listening, they were the best hockey players. They were so handsome, these, like, Italian little stallions that, like, killed it on the ice, and they played together for years, and it was, like, the coolest thing ever because it was everyone knew the Nucci brothers, and I feel like that's gonna be Jack and Calvin. Everybody's gonna know the Fitzgerald brothers. They're just gonna come out together and, like, kick
they're just
ass.
gonna be well, I mean, they have baseball or hockey names, like, that was a factor while we were
Yeah, we
naming
all
them.
pick sports names. So the only person calling Colton's name at this time is gonna be like he thinks he's gonna be a K-pop dancer. So I'm looking up hip hop
Okay.
for Colton. But like the rhythm aspect is like not fully there.
He
So
still has some rare.
we're dying because I think I told you this, and she's definitely listening to the podcast. I'm not gonna say her name. But she's like, I'm just grateful my kids don't want to do anything and aren't like super duper talented.
When are we gonna start saying that? Because it's gonna be I mean, starting in May, I'm gonna have 4 nights a week of sports.
She's
We're
like,
gonna
"It gives me
be
so much
how
free time to hang out with them and do fun stuff and whatever," but I don't know, I think fun is relative based on, like, what you wanna do, and I
true.
think
Yeah,
that
yes,
with what we're doing, we lean into sports because that's what our lives were,
yes,
but there's also,
yep.
like, STEM learning, robotics, coding, like, who knows? Martial arts, we tried
And
that too, but that was not a win either for
I I would love to put them in it one time to see if they like it with
It's
the martial arts.
wonderful for so many reasons, but they thought for a second Colton might, like, need it for, like, listening, but he was so pissed he didn't get a belt every week, but didn't, like, practice for the belt. and then
So it's like,
and you have to, like, do things to get the belt. It was so fun.
yes. And I do think, like, and I know this comes from the perspective of, like, being an athlete and that, but like, it just has shaped so much who I am that I can't imagine my kids not playing something.
Well, and that's
I'll
what I
help,
told
like, we're gonna
Colton.
find what they like, but
I don't care what sport you play. I don't care if it's theater or because I did theater too as a kid. I don't care
we
if
gotta be in
it's
a group.
theater,
Yeah.
sports. You need to do something with a team or a group of people where you rely on each other. You are disciplined, you work hard together, and you achieve something together because it will change your life. People hire athletes for a reason, not because they're like cool, because they understand what it means to be part of a team and to take different roles. And I think that's like the most for me, that's like the most important part for Colton and Daisy is I benefited. My college essay was about dance, and dance could be not considered a sport, but the discipline and the commitment and the way to like present yourself to the world was very ingrained in me at my dance studio, and I took that with me everywhere I went in every other aspect of my life. So I don't think it matters what it is. It's just
It was just the way
value.
it, yeah. Now I think we have to talk about, as our kids get older, say they like the sports. How am I gonna deal with if they are not good?
Okay. This is think about my mom for a second, okay? Go back to that Mother's Day episode where she said the most embarrassing moment of her parenting.
Her life was
She swears that you asked her the most embarrassing thing I ever did, but I wanted to clarify with her recently that it was that any of us have ever done. She that
just her life in general
was
now, it's that.
so I was so passionate about dance and acting and singing. I wanted to be I still, if given the opportunity, would get on a local stage right now and make up another ballet dance. Don't care. Don't
Here we go.
care.
The podcasts. Let's go.
Don't care.
Bonus episode.
I would love this, especially for under-talented adults. If there's anyone listening that is an under-talented adult that would like to put on a local, like, version of Hamilton, I'm making my friends do this for our 40th birthday. We're all learning a Broadway show and performing in costume because I'm passionate. But I'm saying this because my mom was so embarrassed, but she had to let me do it.
Had to.
But you don't have to pay. I think some parents are so desperate for their kids to be the best. I don't
Yes.
think you have to put them in every single club, every single thing. Like my mom was very honest and looked at me and said, Danielle, you're great at tap and jazz. You have rhythm. You just have huge boobs and not a ballerina body. Like you got to give it up, home slice. And I was very upset. But looking back, like there was 0% chance I'd ever be in a ballet.
Right. You have to protect your kid at a certain extent. Like, they have to understand how the world is because there are not that you can't do anything. Like, of course, we want our kids to think that they can do anything they want, but, like, there is also something to investing in something you're good at and, like, be feeling good about, "Hey, I am good at this part of it. Let me focus on this," and helping steer them into that, because when they have success in it, it A, makes them like it more, it teaches them more about it, it makes them feel more responsibility about whatever that is, but I just am like, "Okay, I don't know, there's not, like, a good way to say
They're
it."
not good at it. There will eventually be natural
Yes.
action out of it, right? Think about that. It's not
Or,
going to
like,
go
they
too
don't
far.
make a team in high school, they don't do this. Like, it's really hard because me and Ryan were not like that, we both excelled. I wasn't the best kid, and I think and I knew that I wasn't the best. Like, I was like, "I'm not gonna be a D1 athlete." Like, I know where I am, and it was a big part of
That's
where I
we
picked
were
where I wanted to go to
competitive
college.
and understood. So in cheerleading, I was one of the best dancers and I was one of the loudest and I'm a leader. So I knew I could always end up the captain. I could always help choreograph and I had good jumps and I was strong, but I couldn't tumble. I wasn't the best. I was never the best cheerleader, but I took the skills that I did have and implemented them into that team to make
And you were a vital part of the team.
stronger. And I think that's a
Yeah.
part of being a team and helping your kids understand that you don't have to be the best to be on the team. You have to add value, but also even if you suck at something and you love to do it, and this is one thing I want my kids to do that I didn't. If you suck at it and you want to do it, keep trying. Practice, practice. But you have to practice. You have to put in the work. It's not going to happen for you and you cannot be mad if you don't get in because that's the reality of life. You do things because you have to lead with your strengths. We all know that. So don't be an idiot. Lead with your strengths. But also, if there's something you're super passionate about and you're willing to put in the work for it because you love it, do it. I don't care. I will help you invest in that. But I'm not, don't think you're going to get into Carnegie Mellon or Juilliard or go play D1 at UConn when you didn't make the high school team. Like those are the things that like you have to have
Yes,
real.
you have to teach them, yeah, the realities of it. But that's where I think it all is really helpful for them. I will say though, I'm already about $1,000 into summer activities.
Each camp for
It's
us is like $600.
oh my lord. I'm like, is this for so like the summer camp that he's gonna go to is very reasonable. I did the math, ends up being about $25 a day.
Not bad.
I think that's really
Really
reasonable
good.
for the whole summer. And I'm like, great. But then we added on all the other stuff now. And now I got to go get all the stuff because we haven't done any of these sports before. And I'm finding, and I don't know how you are with this, but like I Ryan was like second child. He got the hand me downs. He never got new anything. I mean, to some extent, his mom will
Yeah, yeah.
probably did because I bought stuff. Me and Steph, by the time, I mean, I was very tall and she was not as tall. Like we were just different sizes, or we were playing at the same time. And then by the time she went in different directions and we were in different sports. So then there was no hand me downs internally. So I got new stuff every,
So are you saying
time I
you want
needed new
Jack to have
things.
all new stuff?
So I want Jack to have new stuff. But then you look at the fucking prices for this stuff. And Ryan's a hand-me-down guy. So he's like, Katie, stop. Like we're not gonna go to Dick's and get him the newest everything. I'm like, but I want him to like experience having that. And he's like, I have 18 cousins. They all have garages full of this stuff.
So
We are just going to go get it.
the thing is, I was the oldest, the only girl. So I didn't have hand me downs. So same as you, because there was no option, right? But with Colton and Daisy now, especially with Facebook Marketplace and all the people that we have, right? These kids, I'm telling you from my experience, I bought Colton new for the first couple sports. A, he didn't like them. B, his feet grow
That's what I mean.
every other day. I was buying $50 cleats and giving them away 2 weeks later because they didn't fit.
Because
I'm
it's just
getting
done.
brand new stuff for free from my neighbors and or for like $5. I just got a box from my neighbor of every dance shoe for Daisy, both tap and
Done.
jazz,
Yeah.
for like the next 5 sizes. And they're usually like $35 to $55 a pair.
Yeah. No, you listen, you have to
Then
go
you
hand me
sign them
downs.
up for more sports or more activities if you save the money on this stuff. And then if he's
But my
like,
shopping problem wants to like pick him out
yeah,
the
pick
new
them out on
stuff.
Facebook Marketplace. Go to kid secondhand sports.
I know. So I do think, and then the other thing was we were arguing because of the amount of sports being able to utilize equipment across different sports.
Okay.
Me
That's
and Ryan,
eh,
the current argument is with cleats.
I don't think you can mix them. I'm sorry.
You can't. And I'm like, I know that you can't, but like, now I have to buy baseball cleats and soccer cleats. Even if I get off marketplace, I'm dropping $50 to get something that's in decent enough shape that's going to last the season. But it's just funny, like all the things. We did get a new baseball helmet because
Okay,
that will last him a
that's okay.
season or two. Like that
Or
will
mint,
last.
like, you know, it's okay.
But yeah, he has a mitt already. Like we have some of the stuff.
And this
Soccer
way
is
to
easy
utilize
'cause
birthdays, Christmases,
for
Easter,
the
for these things. My brother is
Calvin's birthday, I'm going to ask for Jack's cleats.
perfect.
And
Why
like,
not?
because they will fit Calvin at some probably tomorrow. They're about in the same size. So I'm going to run into that. There's going to be no hand me downs internally
They
because
both wear the same
they're
clothes.
the same size already.
It's insane.
But it is funny because it's like as they try the things, you're like, yeah, I can't buy new stuff every time. And we haven't even gotten into hockey. And I'm sure some of the hockey moms out there are like, wait till you start buying that
The
equipment
most
because they're in
expensive
new
sport of
freaking
all time.
a whole new wardrobe every single season or mid-season having to swap stuff. I can only imagine.
Yeah,
We're gonna
it
wait
will
another
be
year on
like,
that.
let him play in the play aquarium, Katie. Let him play.
Oh, they have to try. They're going to try. I'm not kidding. We're gonna try everything. I don't think I'll try Jack in football. I don't think he's gonna like that. Well then we'll
Football right
have to
now,
try.
so you could try it. So this is another hack that I'm doing this summer that I didn't do last summer. Last summer, I signed Colton up for all the most expensive camps. Then I asked him what his favorite camps were, and one of them was expensive, but like one of the other really expensive ones that I thought he was going to love, he didn't care about at all. But I joined the Y, and the reason I did this is because they have a million, especially for Colton's age. Jack's not old enough, but once they hit 7, there are a
Yes.
million different camps. They even have cheer camp for Daisy at
It's so
3
good.
that you can sign them up for that's reasonable prices. They do it for a week. They see if they like it. So I am going to utilize the Y this year to try more
So good.
sports.
I've heard great things about the Y.
And I get to work out for like, you can do up to 2 hours.
And there's childcare.
Yeah, I dropped them off for 30 minutes. I was so nervous about Daisy, like, dropping her off. We only did
She
30
did all
minutes.
right.
She did alright. I think it's less like I know she's a baddie, like, she's gonna be fine. I don't, like, know those teachers and know those people, and it really freaks me out to think that anybody can walk in there at any time, like, how do I know for sure they're safe? Like, I don't
Safe.
know.
I know. Yeah, it is a struggle. That's definitely on our radar for the next couple years. We'll probably join there because they do camps, summer camps here for us too,
Yeah, like,
as they're older. The other thing for me with the summer camp right now is that only one of the kids is eligible for summer camp. So I'm putting Jack in
same,
camp, but I still have Kelvin home all summer.
same.
So it's hard
So
because
you're
it's
gonna have them
like
home, right? Like, there's a camp, I guess, at Daisy's
somebody's here.
school that I could sign her up for, but my mom said she would take her, and it's like $300 a week I save. Like, I'll save that. I am gonna put her in cheer camp. There's a cheer camp, but it's like Fridays, and then I'm gonna do dance camp on Fridays. And that's the other thing before we end this topic is we're starting to
No.
sign the kids up with other friends, and people love weekends, but I hate signing up for sports on weekends right now because we're working all week and the weekends are the only time like all of us can do something together. And if it's not baseball or something on a field, like a dance class sounds like no to me when I could do it on a Wednesday night. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I think getting in with the friend, this is a whole nother aspect to it and the importance of it
Yeah.
is building the relationships.
Relationships.
So I think it is almost more important to have that. It's hard though, because either way, the hope is that no matter what program they're in, they're going to make the new friends, right?
Yeah. True.
But But for you, you know the people, I feel like that's something too, like, I want our kids to be in stuff that my
Well,
friends'
my
kids are
neighbors,
in.
our daughters are the same age. They like don't play a lot because we're both very busy. So going on and doing dance together would be like life changing. We get to hang out
Yeah,
together. The girls will start doing stuff
exactly.
together. Then I'm like, what happens? I travel. You know, I'm a traveler. So if I can't make half the practices a year, that's not good either.
I know. I thought about that too, and that's why I knew the math for the summer camp, how much it is per day, because I'm like, "All right, if we're gonna pull them out for X amount of
If you're gonna
time."
come visit us, that'd be cool. Let me know before I go.
Yeah, right? I know. We have to do a summer road trip, but, like, it's hard to, like, when you pay for it, you're like, "I know I'm gonna miss X amount." It's just hard to
All of it
factor
is
that in.
difficult because we work so that we can live and we want to provide our kids with nice things. But then sometimes you're looking at it being like, if I didn't, you have guilt no matter what. Like, I wouldn't have to put them in camp if I was able to stay home. But then if I stayed home, they couldn't do this. Like, for us, like, and everybody's life is different. So we're not saying like some people on a one household income are fine. Like, you and I need to, which is cool. And it's like, we wouldn't, cool, so cool, but we wouldn't be able to, you and I would suck at not like doing something. We'd be
I
like
know.
kicking up some weird business that our husbands be like, "Go back to work. You're annoying."
I think the most important things that I've learned thus far is that even if you think they're too little, try it anyway,
Correct.
but have set your expectations that they're gonna cry, they're gonna suck, and they're gonna act like they hate it, but the more consistent you become with it, the better,
And
because
don't invite your parents to the first practice. If you come from a sport
don't
family, do not invite your parents to the first
do
practice because
not
when they inevitably suck, you don't want that same look of disappointment.
the guilt to
It didn't
follow
suck, you
through.
know?
But I know a lot of people have struggled where they sign their kid up and they're like, they're just too young. And it's like, they're not too young because they have to try it at
Yes,
some
I
point. They
agree.
have to be able to listen to a coach. They have to, you know, this is all part of the learning. They have to start somewhere. And if your kid's the crier, like nobody's judging. And if you judge somebody's kid at a sports, shame on you
Yeah.
because it could be you in 2 seconds. Your kid could bump heads with somebody and be crying and not recover
Yeah,
from it.
judgment is not allowed in childhood.
You cannot judge. And I know like Ryan always is like, Jack's crying again, or like I've had to sit inside the sports stuff to do it. And we're past it now. And I'm like, Ryan, I did that for one session and now he's over it.
Yes, and
Like,
I think that's
and if any of these moms are judging me for sitting on the sideline of this, like your kid's going to be crying about something at some point. Like,
and we're gonna
just
look
wait.
at you, and we're gonna look at you and stare and say, "Remember when?" Just kidding. We
Yeah.
won't do that. We'll be like, "We've been there. We've got you."
And I've wanted to, like, I've seen other moms doing it. I wanted to be like, I like, keep going.
You got
You've
this,
got
girl.
it. Like, you got it. Don't let them beat you down. Like, stay patient. But
And I think I've
yeah,
also learned, like, as they've gotten older, because I agree with everything that you said. I think you have to learn to talk to your kids about what they like and what they don't like, not just the sport, but the aspects of the sport. Because sometimes your kid may actually like the sport. They don't like the coach, or they don't like that they feel stupid when they mess up, or they don't like, literally, Colton is, we're talking about swimming, and somebody's going to listen to this, but this was serious. Colton took ISR, he could swim laps, and he doesn't want to join swim team. All his friends are doing swim team. And I was like, Colton, it'll be so good for you. And trust me, I don't want to do swim team. The
yeah,
commitment is insane. It's every day. It's stupid. But for him, I want to do it. And he's like, I don't want to. I said, but buddy, why? And he finally admitted, I'm afraid to fail in front of my friends. So now we know, we joined the Y. We're going to do open swim twice a week. We're going to
practice it.
practice and make sure he's good to go, because it wasn't that he doesn't want to swim. It's that he's embarrassed that he's not going to do well. It's
Be good
be
enough.
good
Right.
enough. And I think that's like, if you don't talk to your kids about that right now, they'll go their whole life afraid of failure. And we all know that failure, if you use it right, there's not failure, there's mistakes, lessons, whatever. And so I think that the big thing is, like, talk to your kids about why they don't like the sport and what activities or portions of each sport they like. Don't just take it at face value. Like,
It's so important. And don't assume.
yes, don't
Yeah.
assume.
Don't assume that they don't like something or they don't,
Or they love it because they're good at it. Because there's those kids that are good at stuff and they just do it because their parents tell them to, because they're good and it makes their parents so proud. And they're like, I really want to, like, go research penguins in the Arctic, but instead I'm in California hitting balls because mommy and daddy were proud. Like, you gotta, it goes
Most
both ways.
D1 athletes have full-time jobs
Yeah, correct.
and that are not in professional
My brother was
sports.
a D1 athlete, and here he is owning an, owning an accounting business. So
I
it's
bumped my
okay.
mic.
You're back. And I think that too, if your kids love something, the one thing I wish I would have learned earlier in life, not that I don't like what I do now, but if you love sports or music or theater, there are tons of careers that you can do and learn to do that are in alignment. I mean, I was sitting courtside at the Hornets game, and there was roles for everything. The squeegeers for
Yeah.
the hype squad, the coaches, the reporters, they all have unique skills and they all need to know about the sport. So, like, don't count yourself out or your kid out just because they're not the on the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think
Well, I think with that, it's time for us to
I'm gonna
clock
go
out.
celebrate your birthday. Woo woo.
Birthday lunch.
Yay.
We'll see you all next
Bye bye.
time.